הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom. It's so nice to see all of you for Shabbat, just to be together inside in a warm place on a cold day and to celebrate with Sydney her bat mitzvah. So happy to have you up here and to see how excited you are to be here, which makes me so happy. We are in the Siddur. If you have in front of you the Lev Shalem Siddur, at the bottom of page 5 with the words of Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech, מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון ממלך, מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. צריכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון ממלך, מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We turn to page 11. The Psalms of Shabbat start with the words Lechu Naranana, let's be together and find reason to sing together. Page 11.
לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור ישענו, נקדמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו, נקדמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. כי אל גדול אדוני ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים, אשר בידו מחקרי הארץ ותועפות נריע לו, אשר בידו מחקרי הארץ ותועפות נריעים לו.
Conclude that psalm, page 12 at the red arrow, Arba'im Shana.
40 שנה אכות בדור, ואומר עם טועה לבבם, והם לא ידעו דרכי, אשר נשבעתי באפי, אם יבואון אל מנוחתי.
Page 13.
שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו מהגויים כבודו וכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. ניי 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 ניי
We go forward now to page 20 at the red arrow, page 20, Romemu.
רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו בהר קודשו, רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו בהר קודשו, כי Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu ramemu. Oh, Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu ramemu. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu ve'hakodsho. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu ve'hakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu ramemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu.
There's a midrash, there's a teaching from 1,500 years ago or so that says every one of us was at Mount Sinai. That every single person was there. We were all there to hear the thunder and the lightning, to be close to God in this moment of revelation, that it wasn't given to one person, it was given to us all. In fact, when I was young and single and looking for dating, whatever, there was parallel to J-Date, there was a less successful one called Saw You at Sinai. When I went on, there was one person in my age bracket on there, and that didn't work out. But still, the idea that we were all there, that you were there. And so when we sing on page 21, this psalm brings us back to Mount Sinai as if you are there. And so to imagine as we sing these words, and you can follow in the Hebrew or the English or the poetry, what it must have been like to be surrounded by everybody, by your own great-grandchildren and your own great-grandparents, by those who you love so much, to all stand together at this incredible and sacred moment. So page 21, we'll sing these words.
Mizmor leDavid, Amvul Adonai Bre'elim, Amvul Adonai Kavon va'oz, Amvul Adonai kevod shemo, Yishtachavu l'Adonai ve'adrak kodesh. Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavodim. Adonai hamayim rabim. Kol Adonai bakoach. Kol Adonai ve'adar. Kol Adonai shover arazim vayishaver Adonai et arzei Halvanon vayakidem kimo egel Lebanon veSirion kemo ben remim. Kol Adonai chotz elav botesh. Kol Adonai yachmid bar. Yachil Adonai mibar kadesh. Kol Adonai yachol elayalot. Vayecheso ye'arodu v'hechalo. Kulo omer kavod, Adonai la'amavu yashav vayeshev Adonai melech le'olam. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Rai 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 rai
23, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor vezachor bediבור echad, Yishmianu el hameuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor haberacha, Merosh mikedem nezucha, Sof ma'aseh v'machshavat chila, Mikdash melech yirmelucha. Ku mitzei mitoch ha'afecha, Rahav lach shevet be'emek habacha, Vehu yachamol alayich chemla. Lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitna'ari me'afar kumi, Lifshi bigdei tifatecha mi, Yahoyad ben Yishai beit halachmi, Korva el nafshi gehala. Toreri, Kiva orech kumi ori, ori shir daberi, Kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Ay lo tevoshi velo tikami, ma tishtochachi o matemi vakichesu ani ami venivneta irati la lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Ayu limshin so shosayich v'rachakuko, Korbalayich yasis alayich, Elohayich kimsos chatan, chatan al kala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Yaminu smol tifroti v'yet Adonai ta'aritzi al yadish, Be'emvati v'nismecha v'nagila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela.
If you're able, we stand and we face the door that we entered through.
Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha, uvetzola, toch emunei, am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi. Likra gala b'nei Shabbat nekabela ay 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 anay 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 anay
Let's remain standing. We'll invite up the extended Torgan family to say the bracha, the blessing over the candles, to join us. So, Dina, Brinley, whoever wants to come up to say the blessing. And if anybody else from the community wants to come up with say the blessings with Betty over the candles, you're welcome to join us up here. Turn to the people around you and say, Shabbat Shalom. Wave to somebody who you don't know and say, Shabbat Shalom. Go back to your seat. You can take a seat. We'll now sing the psalm that's special for Shabbat, one that was earmarked by King David 3,000 years ago as the special Shabbat poem. We're on page 27 with Tov Lahodot.
Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, lehagin bavoker chasdecha, lehagin bavoker chasdecha, ve'emunatcha baleilot, emunatcha baleilot, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, lehagin bavoker chasdecha, lehagin בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, אמונתך בלילות. טוב להודות לאדוני.
On page 28 at the red arrow, we'll sing Tzaddik Katamar.
Tzaddik katamar yifrach, kerez balvanon yizgeh, shetuli beveit Adonai, bechatzorot Eloheinu yafrichu. Od yenovun v'seva, d'sheinim berananim ihiyo, lehagid ki hashar Adonai tzuri velo avlatamo.
We'll continue now with the Mariv section of our service. If you're able, we'll rise for the beginning of Baruch Hu. We'll invite Alec and Jonah up to the bima to open up the Aron, to open up the Ark, as Sydney leads us. We're on page 39A in the Siddur.
Baruch et Adonai Hamivora, Baruch Adonai Hamvora Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Adonai Hamvora Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated.
Uma avir yom, umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tziva'ot shemo, El hai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu, le'olam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai, Ama arim, aravim.
Amen.
Page 40, Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam bet Yisrael amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta, al ken Adonai Eloheinu v'shochveinu v'kumeinu nasiach bechukecha ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה.
Tasir mimenu leolamim, Baruch ata Adonai,
Shemo
Ohevamo Yisrael.
Amen.
Shema
Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך ושרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. וגם שבותי
Adonai Eloheihem, Amen.
We'll continue in a moment on page 44.
מלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אליו נורא תהילות אוסף אליו מלכותך ראו בניך הים לפני משה אלי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגואלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גא ישראל.
Amen. We invite Deborah Torgan up now, aunt of the Bat Mitzvah, to read us an introduction to Hashkivenu.
Help us lie down at night in comfort, safety, and peace. May the dreams of our children be sweet tonight and every day. May the future be bright for them and for their children and for generations to come. Grant us the ability to rest after long days of work and worry. Give us the chance to let our souls be at peace. And give us the grace to know how to separate from the things we cannot control. Allow us to quiet our bodies and our minds as we drift away from the mundane and enter into a sacred dreamscape. Spread over us the shelter of your comforting presence. Help us to know that it is okay to let go, to breathe, to be. Journey with us into our sublime subconsciousness, and let us live in this magical space of neither here nor there. For when we are with you, we are never truly alone. Guide us, watch over us, protect us. Allow us to rise in the morning with the fragrance of a new dawn, and chance to hope, to create ourselves anew, again and again and again. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Deborah. Page 45, Hashkivenu.
השכיבנו Adonai Eloheinu leshalom והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים השכיבנו Adonai Eloheinu leshalom והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים השכיבנו Adonai Eloheinu leshalom והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ותקננו בצע טובה מלפניך השכיבנו Adonai Eloheinu leshalom והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים השכיבנו Adonai Eloheinu leshalom והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורץ סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים אמן ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורץ סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים ועל ירושלים ועל ירושלים אמן.
Amen. If you're able, we rise, page 46, we sing the words of the Shamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם אותי לעולם שמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Dal vitkadash shemei rabba.
אמן.
Yamadi rakute ve'amlich mahute.
בחייכון וביומכון וחיי בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן יהי שמרה במבורך עולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך.
Yitbara v'yishtaba v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudasha
בריחו
le'elam mikol behirata v'shirata
תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן ועלמה. Amen.
Starting on page 47 is the individual Amidah. Starting in the Hebrew or the English or the poetry, just a moment of personal quiet prayer. When you're finished, you may be seated.
Shalom bimramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Shalom bimramav, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru. shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Amen. On the inside back cover of most of the Sidurim is a sticker with the words of Misha Berach. We'll sing half of the song, and then I'll read a list of people who we're thinking of today who are in healing, who are in the hospital, who are in recovery, and then we'll finish the song. If you have names to add to our list, let me know after Shabbat. We'll make sure to add them to our list for the future.
Mi sheberach avotenu mikol habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
Some of the names on our list: Diane Pfaff, Rivka bat Sari Menu, Mindel Eliza bat Masha, Meir ben Fega, Menucha bat Necha, Shlomo ben Rivka, Rivka bat Sarah, Greg Watson, Yonatan Reuven ben Rivka, Tikva bat Sarah, Lazer ben Chava, Naftali ben Devora, Meir Yaakov ben Brian, Yehudit bat Sarah, Asa Luo, Al Sanderson, John Ogle, Ron Kadish, Carl Weiss, Barry Perkin, Michael Yamyahu ben Rivka, Tyler Berry, Karen bat Maya Ruth, Rav Masha Rachel bat Godaleah, Maya Ruth bat Esther, Moshe ben Chana, Miriam bat Dina, Yochanan ben Chana, Ruth Pollack, Eliza bat Dina, Mike Ryder, Yosef ben Brian, Shlomo ben Duba, Chanaleah bat Alice, Shani bat Rachel, Tammy Kelsler Wakeman, Michael Joseph, Yechezkel ben Avram David, Liz Oliver, Eli ben Nili, Machluf ben Gamari, Yitzchak ben Bela, Zev ben Leah, Arnold Garson, Donald Hirschfeld, Jeff Carpenter, Tirza bat Leah, Jewel Goldstock, Leah Yosefa bat Genessa, Moshe ben Shendel, Yaakov Yonah ben Chana, Ruth Korn, Ruth Tillman, Chaim ben Yitzchak, Bob Gressman, Stephen Chessis, Eitan Hillel ben Rivka, Nechama Chaya bat Leah, Sally Greenberg, Steve Fine, Mark Levine, Yisrael ben Zion ben Esther, Eliyahu ben Sarah, Chana bat Leah, Leah bat Rachel, Elisa Negan, Robert Doy, Jessica Towell, Chaya bat Razel, Tuvia Cohen, Shirley Rutkovitz, Stephen Dashef, Darcy Raymer, Dvora Chana bat Bela, Kalila Or bat Miriam Arnona, Razel Udo bat Sarah, Cheryl Pullen, Chaim ben Chana, Dashel Aversono, Leah bat Root, John Pugh, Yechezkel ben Root, Esther Chaya bat Leah, Marion Lessman, Richard Lessman, Dvora bat Sarah.
Mi sheberach imahotenu Kor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
Refuah Shlema, a full and a speedy recovery. Page 54 towards the middle. Sydney will lead us in Kaddish Shalem.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Amadivra kiyutei, ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayehon uvyomehon, uvhayedaho be'Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imeru.
Amen. Yesh merabah mevorach, le'olam lel mehol maya, yitvarach, barach v'shbabach v'tar v'chomam v'tnosu.
Yitadar v'talev yitala shemei dekudasha.
Richu.
Kila mikol b'hirata v'shirata, tishbachata v'ne'amata, da'amiran be'alama v'imeru.
Amen.
Titkabot zenoton, va'oton dehol Yisrael, Kadam avahon divishmaya v'imeru.
Amen.
Hey shlamar min shemaya. Lechaye aleinu ve'akol Yisrael v'imeru.
Amen. Oh, se shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'himeru. Amen.
For a moment. Tomorrow morning, 9:30 in the morning, we'll continue our services with Sydney leading a lot of it. And how nice that some of her family is going to read Torah tomorrow morning as well. If you want to practice tonight, let us know. We can take the Torah out and practice it a little bit tonight. And one of the lines that one of her aunts is going to read tomorrow is one of the most powerful and troubling lines in the Torah, which is Vayakam melech hadash al Mitzrayim asher lo yada et Yosef. A new king arose over Egypt who did not know Joseph. And in reading this line, in studying this Torah portion this week, I couldn't help but think, did Pharaoh not know Joseph? How could a nation's leader, surrounded by advisors and consultants, not know a huge piece of the country's history? More likely, Pharaoh knew about Joseph and chose not to think about, not to learn the lessons of Joseph, to purposefully and cavalierly forget that someone who is not of full Egyptian blood could have done anything to help the country become the powerhouse that it became. Instead, Pharaoh disregards the facts and recklessly rewrites history, erasing the Israelite Joseph from the scrolls. And when the Israelite population grows, Pharaoh could easily embrace them, make them feel at home in the country they have lived in for generations, the country they helped save. Pharaoh could get them signed up in the army and be mighty guardians of their wonderful adopted nation who saved them in their time of trouble, and he could acknowledge their dedication. But instead, he others them, reminds them that they will never be more than second-class citizens, makes them afraid to go outside. His own nation turns on him. Most no longer support his rash decisions where he sees himself as a god. The hospital workers, Shifra and Pua, don't care about his commanding orders. Only those who carry weapons, whips to do harm and subjugate, to keep people in line, to scare commoners, only they still listen to Pharaoh and are able to enslave the citizens of the powerful nation. They themselves, the taskmasters, do nothing. They just watch others work. The Pharaoh lives in a place of fear. He believes that he could lose the entire nation and all of his own personal wealth if anyone else gets a leg up. So the only option is alienation and oppression. In stark contrast, Pharaoh's daughter exemplifies a path of courage and empathy by understanding that if one side flourishes, the other might as well. The verb that is used in her narrative again and again is that she sees. While bathing in the Nile, she sees the basket, she sees the baby, she sees him crying, she sees that he is a Hebrew baby. While her father detaches and turns a blind eye, the daughter chooses to see, to look, to connect, to be touched by the heartbreak before her. While her father kicked out those who were other, she purposefully and maybe spitefully imagined a new future reality, a shared future. She demonstrates for us that when an encounter is open, when we allow ourselves to be moved, affected, vulnerable, a shared future becomes imaginable. The mindset of mere survival is replaced by a sense of responsibility for oneself and for others. The zero-sum view of reality gives way to the possibility of mutual growth, of a future in which we can all thrive. Pharaoh's daughter embodies this consciousness as revealed in the name she gives the child she saved. The Torah says she named him Moshe, explaining, I drew him out of the water. Had the name reflected only the shared past, only that one moment, a moment which she had seen and she had chosen as she stood before him with vulnerability, she should have named him Mashui, the one who was drawn out. It's past and it's passive. The name Pharaoh's daughter gives her son expresses her vision for the future, Moshe, which looks a lot like the present tense. The active verb in the Hebrew is the one who continues drawing others out. He's destined to become a redeemer. And indeed, as the Torah tells us, when he grows up, he chooses to see and understand. In fact, after he gets his name, the very next line in the Torah is, sometime after that, when Moses had grown up, he went out to his kinsfolk and he saw their suffering. It's clear which house Moses was raised in. He was not raised as the child of Pharaoh, but as the child of Pharaoh's daughter. And it's no wonder why the rabbis of our past have bestowed a name on this young woman who was otherwise only known by the relationship to her frightening father. They have dubbed her Batia, daughter of God. Maybe because Pharaoh saw himself as God, or more likely because she represents the best of what we hope a child of God will be. While Pharaoh acts out of denial and fear and aggression, Pharaoh's daughter, Batia, acts in the opposite way. First, she chooses to see and to know, allowing herself to feel and be vulnerable. In the second stage, Pharaoh's daughter is able, based on this seeing and knowing, to imagine a shared future, as the Torah says, and he became a son to her. This week's Torah portion invites us to choose vision and knowledge, awareness of our past, and a renewal that connects and opens the door to knowing those around us, even or especially when they're different from us. It teaches us to imagine a life-giving future, one that makes room for all, perhaps even through cooperation and shared purpose. This outlook urges us to move beyond a survivalist mindset and instead embrace a sense of inner strength, the willingness to truly see the other, and the courage to be open and vulnerable. From this openness grows the capacity for responsibility, not only for ourselves, but for building a community and for each other. Shabbat Shalom. Those who are able will rise as we invite the Torgan family up to say Kiddush. We're on page 55 as we make this day sacred with these words. Spencer, Dina, Brinley.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kiddashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
We face the ark as we say the words of Aleinu, page 56.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol latek gedula leotzer breshit shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot velo samanu kemishpachot hadama שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויעשה הארץ, ומשה ביקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו מגבי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אהוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אין עוד כן נקווה לך. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Among all this learning and singing and envisioning a better future, we are also so keenly aware of those who aren't sitting with us tonight, of those whose memories we think about, especially this time of year. So this week we note the yahrzeits of Molly Mansky, Doris Lehrman, Martin Zimring, Alfred Kurtzer, Jerome Ratson, Sidney Ross, Ernie Ehrman, Ronald Charna, David Lasko, Macy Rosen, Mary Weissman, Evelyn Dubinsky, Sarah Freed, Stephen Sisman, Sarah Tauber, Javar Yazdidzadeh, Ida Bronstein, Joseph Green, May Natalie Green, George Kalusky, Marcia Marks, James Nye, Arnold Patent, Tom Sneed, Rose Unger, Harvey R. Cohen, David Friedman, Hattie Hirsch, Patrick McKenna, Catherine Habib, Amy Melissa Hagler, David Rubin, Seymour Axelrad, Deborah Braden, Sydney Ehrenberg, Estelle Fish, Ira Goldberg, Harriet Goldstein, and Lucille Mass. And we're in Shloshim this first month of mourning as we remember Arlene Granoff Stevens, Toby Wallach, Ethel Dicker, Richard B. Goldberg, Mark Elson, Ari Goldberg, and Betsy Rosen. Other names to add for tonight? Michael Spector. May their memories be a blessing by those who remember them and still do good deeds in their honor. Page 58 is Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish. If you are in a period of mourning, if you're observing a yahrzeit, you're welcome to rise and join with us in these ancient words. Yitkadal v'yit kadash shamei rabbah, be'alma divara kirute, be'amlich malchute, be'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'olam u'omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudasha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shamaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru
Amen.
amen. Amen. You may be seated. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, Mark, for being our greeter tonight. Always appreciate it. And tomorrow morning, 9:30, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. You're welcome to join us on Zoom for Havdalah. We'll also be doing it in person at the Schwartz's house as part of Shiva Minyan. If you'd like to join us 6 o'clock in the Oxnard area, let us know. Sunday morning, we're here at 8:30. Coming up, there's a few amazing, wonderful things. Havdalah and hot dogs is January 31st. Usually hundreds of people come. All right, Otis is already celebrating. Hundreds of people show up for art projects, some that you take home for yourself, your family. Am I allowed to say what that one is? What one of them is? Yes, we're making Shabbat candles. In the past, we've made wax hands and things, but this time, Shabbat candles. In addition to some other projects that stay here. And if you look around the synagogue, some of our most beautiful art that we have in our buildings is from these events in the past. So January 31st is that one. There's a Women of TEC, although anybody's invited, Women of TEC Tu B'Shvat event with different kinds of teas and trees. If you have questions, Carol's a good person to talk to, right? Is that okay? Great. Okay, Carol is here. And there's, Sunday. Is it too late, Men's Club, to go to the airport in Camarillo on Sunday? Great. Go to the airport in Camarillo on Sunday. There's an event with a tour of the airport, which is a fun thing. We have scholar in residence coming. We've got a lot of things going on here, so hope. Bingo Marathon. Sunday, the 18th. Thank you, of January, is one of our biggest days. If you like to play bingo or watch people play bingo or sell pull tabs or eat French fries, have I got good news for you. We got no French fries? Forget it. Don't even come. Don't even come. But it's a big event. It's one of our biggest fundraisers every year. It helps in so many ways. So it's a lot of fun. You can play, you can volunteer, you can watch me not eat French fries, I guess. That's the thing. But it's always fun. I guess Nomi is one of the people here you could talk to. I want to thank our board members who are very proudly wearing their name tags tonight. So if you have any questions as we have a little bite to eat in Remembrance Hall, find somebody wearing a name tag and introduce yourself if you don't know them. But to the Torgan family, to Luba and Nancy and Gary and Spencer and Dina and Brinley, coming up soon. Looking forward to celebrating more tomorrow. Mariano and Chazan Noam, thank you, Betty and Sydney. Gosh, you're delightful. It's a lot of announcements. Page 211.
211.
Page 211, we'll sing Adon Olam, and then Brinley is going to lead us in Motzi. You better learn it.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נעשה וחפשו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא יהיה ותפארה והוא יהיה ותפארה והוא אחד ואין שני להמשילו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה והוא העוז והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גואלי לצור חבלי וצרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנקוסי ביום אקרא מנקוסי ביום אקרא בידו הפקיד רוחי והייתי שם יאירה ועם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא יירא אדוני לי ולא יירא. Brinley, Amelie, Archer, not Elio. All right, fine. He's going to say Elio's going to say there. All right, you want to do this?
Shalom. Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Sydney, great job. Do you like to sing?
It's the best call-out. Just making sure you're not allergic to like egg. You're like, is it water? Sydney. Terrible job. Embarrassing to share the beam with you.